Welcome everyone. Tonight it is the Wood Tier Invitational, Round 1. I'm your producer tonight, Cajun Wise Guy. Alongside of me are the general contractors of the Wood Tier Invitational. We've got Wood Tier Guru on color, and we've got Oblivion DVD-R, not to be confused with the negative R format, on a play-by-play. Guys, have a great cast tonight. Take it off.
Right on. I am the Wood Tier Guru, the host of the Wood Tier Invitational. In just moments, we are going to jump into one of the largest Discord channels you've ever seen and get some opening announcements, and then we're going to break out into our match. Our match today that we will be streaming is the RITkum Bokum versus the Plat agenda match. Give us just a few moments. Oblivion, if you would like to provide some things while I take care of some last-minute admin.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm really excited. Teams have been working really hard the past few weeks in our preseason games, just testing the waters, feeling things out, just getting prepared for everything to start up here. So I am really excited to get rolling and see what teams are going to show us in these first matches. We've kind of gotten a taste in the past couple weeks about what everyone's kind of doing, but we haven't really seen all the teams at full throttle yet. So I'm really looking forward to getting into the match and just seeing everyone go straight for it here. So it'll be just a couple seconds here, I guess, before we go have our big announcement powwow. So I'm not sure what we'll be starting on. What we'll be starting on today, but again, this match is going to be RITkum Bokum versus the Plat agenda. It would appear that these are the opening rosters. So we have Skyphos and Solstice on tanks. On tank for RITkum Bokum, we got Neonix, and then Battery Die on the damage. And then we're going to round out their team with Jalbeun and ABC on the support.
And I'll jump in here a little bit. Reminder, this is an Oak Division match. We are in Diamond to Masters range. Maybe a few exceptions can show up there, but for the most part, we are a 3,000 to 3,500 SR. Oblivion, do you think any of the recent patches that we've seen is going to be affecting tonight's game?
Let me cut in just before we get into that. Why don't we go ahead and go up there and we will get that opening announcement started.
So, what's y'all's favorite ice cream flavor?
Ice cream.
Right.
Oh my god. Yo, Rocky Roader, you're a degenerate. Just saying.
It's
Hello,
Cookie Dough,
everybody.
you're all wrong.
Welcome to
Cake Batter,
the opening
wait.
announcements for the Wood Tier Invitational. I am your host, the Wood Tier Guru. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here. The 5th Wood Tier Invitational ended in August, and we have worked tirelessly since to bring to fruition the product we present to you here today. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome everyone to the 6th Wood Tier Invitational. We have converted our format from a simple bracket to a full league system. Each of our 10 teams in Oak Tier, the Diamond SR division, will have the opportunity to test their mettle against each other team in the division. Our 6 teams in the Cedar Tier, the Platinum SR division, will go head-to-head with each other team, not once, but twice. Unfortunately, we are not running a Mahogany Tier, but I would still like to throw a shout-out to Aphelion Esports and Team Rocket, who were kind enough to play a show match to get us hyped for the Invitational just last week. After the teams fight it out in their respective round robins, the top 4 victors in each tier will proceed to playoffs for their division to battle it out in a final double elimination bracket to determine the Wood Tier Invitational champions. With no prize pool on the line, I want to remind everyone that we are all here for the sake of the experience. We've had a great record of enjoyable matches here at the Wood Tier Invitational, and maintaining that is of the utmost importance to us. We hope to provide an environment that each player and team wishes to continue to be part of time and again. Remember that all spectators must spectate the appropriate team, and that all streams must be at a 3-minute delay. If your team loses a map, you have the opportunity to pick the next one, and then the winning team gets to choose if they are attacking or defending first, with the attackers on red team and the defenders on blue team. Your map types for the night will proceed in the following order: Control, Hybrid, Escort, Assault, and then finally Control. The first team to achieve 3 map wins will be crowned the victor. If anyone has any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to our staff. Thank you to the Limit Break Gaming staff and support for all your help leading up to and during the invitation. Without you, this tournament would look very different. To everyone else, I am thoroughly excited to be hosting you all. Let's all go out there, have a great time, play some competitive Overwatch, and keep the matches clean and enjoyable for everyone. Good luck, get hyped. It's time to win some matches. Let's get a final cheer before we break out into our individual games.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Everybody maximum your volume.
Please sign up.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, good luck in your matches, break out into your games, and we will see you later. All right, Cajun, we're back.
Excellent. Take it away.
All right. As soon as our teams are ready to get started, we will get right into this.
And so just setting up the match here, we went over RITkum Bokum's starting roster. Plot agenda is going to have Mickey and Moon here on the tanks. Is that right? Yeah, Mickey and Moon are going to be on the tanks. We have B-Caps and Reformed Sean on the supports, and then we have Tripty Q and Bruh rounding out their team on the supports here. Or sorry, on the... Whoa, let me try that one again. We got B-Caps, Reformed Sean on the DPS. Am I crazy?
I'm sorry. What are you referring to?
Whoa, I'm trying to figure out what roles these are.
I believe that they have.
No, they are on
ordered them
DPS. Yeah,
correctly.
they're on DPS, and then we got Tripty Q and Bra on support.
Yeah.
There we go. So these will be the starting rosters here. Looks like we're gonna start on Lijiang Tower. It'll be just a moment before we get into the game. Team's still situating themselves here.
I am thoroughly excited. This is going to be one of the first times that I am color casting, so you'll have to bear with me. But I have been affiliated with Overwatch pretty much since its inception. I've been hosting tournaments for just over a year, and before that I ran teams. So to a certain extent, I know what I'm doing. So it looks like Solstice is asking for a ready check.
And Lijiang Tower is a very popular scrim map. The code that most teams use for scrims that lets them add time and stuff like that give them a bit more flexibility than just the base rule set that an Overwatch lobby, custom lobby starts on. One of the most popular and shared codes always starts on Lijiang Tower. So teams don't often change off of that for the first map. So I know in a lot of scrims that I participate in and watch, teams have a lot of practice on this map in particular. So this is going to be a really close first map.
We got the ready, and we are going into game.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
What kind of compositions are we expected to see on this map here?
So on Control Center, we're just going to see a lot of brawl compositions, a lot of Reinhardt-centric comps. There's a couple different ways that it can break out, usually based on what teams damage the teams try to go with. You can see anything from Junkrat to Symmetra to Reaper, even May. They're just looking to get up close and be able to deal as much damage as possible. Try to force the enemy backline out.
It looks like as they are preparing to attack, we are seeing those Reinhardts. Skyphos has just switched to a Winston, but Mickey and Moon are running the classic Rein Zarya. Oh, and it looks like they were just trolling us. Skyphos is back on the Reinhardt.
Now, interesting if Nix stays on this Sombra. It means they're going to take a much slower approach here. They're going to look for a hack and then try to go in off that. See Skyphos approaching from main. Engage on Moon here. Both teams are just going to be brawling it out. Not trying to jockey for position. Our Battery Tide gets an early pick. Skyphos goes in on Moon, takes off advantage of the damage. Battery Tide gets caught in B-Path's trap, and looks like that is going to be an early point take for RITkum Bokum.
Yeah, with that first team fight win, it looks like our blue team, the RITkum Bokum team, is already ahead on their ultimate, and they are already building up that percentage to get them started.
We see Jelvian actually get some damage in there on Reform Sean, so RITkum Bokum actually going to push in here, going to try to get as much possible. We see Skyphos shattering at spawn, gets 2 down, although he is going to get taken down for it, so maybe a little bit too much aggression coming out from RITkum Bokum.
They did go deep, but maybe they were going for those extra points by touching the spawn doors.
You know, I've never actually seen that come up on the scoreboard.
They are just trying to stall it out a little bit, but red team has finally taken, and they are gaining that percentage.
Yeah, flooded. Oh, sorry, go for it.
They will probably lead off with the Junkrat tire to start us off, maybe look for an opening pick, but the blue team also has a Junkrat tire to lead off this fight.
See, Neonix probably going to be looking for an early EMP here. ABC goes in with Coalescence. Moon doesn't get anything off of that Earth Shatter, but does force the enemy team to back up. ABC crushing people with that laser, takes out Moon and Bruh. Not before Reform Sean comes in with 3 from the Death Blossom, taking out the entire backline and front line of RITkum Bokum, securing Plat agenda, another team fight.
Yeah, that Reaper was definitely a game changer in that fight. At the very beginning, it definitely looked like RITkum Bokum was going to be taking the point, and then Reform Sean took it back almost simultaneously.
All right, we see grabs traded for both sides. We have tires traded for both sides. Only one kill coming out on each side, although RITkum Bokum loses their main support here, so they're not going to have very much healing. B-Caps takes out Battery Tide, and RITkum Bokum, again, not going to be able to break it here. Still holding onto that EMP, though.
You know, RITkum Bokum actually is looking like they have the ultimate advantage, but the defender's advantage is heavy, and they're having a hard time breaking that in order to get back on and start gaining some percentage again. It looks like the fight's about to break out again.
And we see Skyphos coming in with a huge shatter, gets 3, forces out the beat from Bruh here, which is immediately hit by an EMP, although RITkum Bokum is not able to get these, turn these ultimates into eliminations just yet. Skyphos takes out Mickey, and Solstice goes down to Reform Sean dealing tons of damage for the side of the Plat agenda. We see Moon come back on the Wrecking Ball, just try to touch the point as soon as possible. Big support ults coming out from the side of RITkum Bokum. Beat hitting 4 players on the side of the team. Bocaps gets the better of his opposition, and Battery Tide takes him down. Neonix is going to take down the main support on the side of Plat agenda. We see Skyphos getting pressured down actually gets booped forward. Reform Sean again. Huge Death Blossom gets 3. Securing multiple fights with that ultimate and ultimately getting Plat Agenda the point.
Yeah, absolutely. With that first team fight win by RITkum Bokum, I expected that map to go a little bit differently, but they just could not retake once the Plat Agenda came in and took that point on the second fight.
And a lot of the time in these control point or on these control points, the first team to get the point is often going to be the team that's going to be able to take it down in the end, because they're able to get so much percentage off the defender's advantage. But RITkum Bokum just had that aggressive play at the start, which kind of put the ball back in Plat Agenda's court.
Yeah, one of the things I was noticing was that the RITkum Bokum team was maybe not playing nearly as together as they would like to be. We'll see if they can turn that around in this new fight as they come in with a Brigida on their team.
So we see B-caps on the Symmetra here. So so Plat Agenda is going to take early advantage over the point. RITkum Bokum going to have to be a little bit careful. Watch out for those. Watch out for the angles that those turrets make. We see Skyphos coming in with a charge. Actually gets 2. It's an even fight. 3 versus 3. Skyphos does go down. It is a 2v3. RITkum Bokum has 2 people on point, but they're going to be taken down. Early point control setup by Plat Agenda, with that Symmetra proven to be a little bit too much for RITkum Bokum to try to break in with that aggressive charge there.
Yeah, and as that fight really progressed, the Zarya doesn't get worse as the fight goes along. It looks like we're in another situation where the Plat Agenda has defender's advantage again. We'll see if they are going to be able to break that advantage. They are attempting to go at it about the exact same way that they did last time.
We see more ults coming out from same sides, but Skyphos gets a huge shatter. Shatters 5, whole team down. Picks up 2 with the Fire Strike, but it doesn't matter what he does there. The rest of the team follows up immediately, and they finish that fight with...
when you get a shatter that big. When you get a shatter that big, a lot of times that's just the team fight win.
It looks like they're going to, again, play really aggressive here.
Oh, but they've teleported in. They're back on point. And
wow,
they've just taken it right back.
So they actually, so RITkum Bokum immediately loses point control, tries to go for an aggressive play, but just kind of gets juked by that Symmetra. So now they're fighting in, and Moon gets 2 off of that Earth Shatter, takes out the Brig and his opposition Skyphos there. Maybe going down, although Neonix is going to be on the point. He's going to be touching, but not much he's going to be able to do there. So RITkum Bokum just going to have to set up, and a shame that they weren't actually able to set up and defend the point there.
Yeah, absolutely. I really liked that that opening aggression that they were trying to do with that with that play there, trying to defend right at that opening gate, but Symmetra teleporter really just flipped them on their head.
Yeah, really good eyes from B-caps to see that, be able to turn the play. Solstice coming in with a bomb, see if he's able to get anything. Takes out Mickey. That's going to be a big pick. Sorry, a huge source of damage. Tripty is going to try to keep his team alive with this Coalescence. Battery Tide takes out Reform Sean while he, after he takes out Skyphos with the Death Blossom. Battery Tide not able to get anything else off of that visor, and it looks like Plat Agenda is just going to take this map.
That was a pretty dominant showing from the Plat Agenda. Well, let's take a look at this. Play the game.
I'm going to guess this is one good cue right here.
There it is.
Gorgeous. And, it was funny. As far as percentage goes, that was 2-to-1 map score. Or, sorry, 2-to-1 point score. Or 2-to-0, sorry, point score. But RITkum Bokum wasn't getting rolled over in so much as that they were just losing positional advantages whenever they were up.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think if RITkum Bokum hadn't gotten juked by that Symmetra teleporter on the second fight, that map could have looked a lot different. Yeah. We are about to see what our next match is, or what our next map is going to be. It is definitely going to be a hybrid map. I would be surprised if we didn't see a King's Row.
It is RITkum Bokum's choice. They did seem like they had a plan with that Reinhardt Brawl comp, right? They were playing really aggressive. They were trying to take as much space as they could get, whether they could get it safely or not. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see King's Row. So they're probably going to play into that same strategy. Just try to look out for the gaps that they left open on Lijiang, and just go into King's Row, shore up those mistakes, and just play aggressively to take the Plat agenda off guard here.
Yeah, what I really want to see out of RITkum Bokum is I really want to see him like bunch up and really play in that brawly style and not split up. It looks like we're going to see RITkum Bokum take the attack on this first point. But that was a choice made by Mickey, the team captain of the Plat agenda.
So, oh, go on, sorry.
I was just saying they are asking for ready checks. We're getting some swaps.
Looks like we're gonna get the spectators from from the Plat agenda switched over to the blue team, so they're not all spying on Skyphos's shatter from his point of view.
that might be bad.
Yeah, I've heard it's not great to have 4 enemy spies on your team, but this isn't Team Fortress, so I'm not really used to that. Looks like we're just waiting 1 sec for AV, one of the spectators for the Plat agenda. Plat agenda picking defense here, so feeling themselves in those advantageous defenders' positions. Teams will sometimes pick offense so that they can set their own pace, but if you feel like you can keep the momentum going, be able to keep shutting out the enemy team, then I say go for the defense here and just try to keep the game in your own control.
Yeah, absolutely. Play by as many rules as you need to in order to give yourself the advantage.
Overwatch is a mental game, it really is. So, one of the biggest things for teams coming off of that first control map is just because control can feel one-sided even whenever it's much closer than it looks. So as long as RITkum Bokum's able to, keep their heads in it, just stay focused on what they know how to do, then they should be able to have a good showing on this map.
Yeah, I mean, other than the actual deathmatch map types, control is the closest thing that we have in Overwatch to a deathmatch style game. The other map types are much more objective oriented.
So we see Ryan Zarya defense coming out from Plat agenda, but RITkum Bokum is going to go for a Wrecking Ball Roadhog composition. So not trying to play the brawl at all. It seems like Battery Die is going to engage, try to get some damage. Neonix takes a bit too much poke, so he's going to have to back up, get healed before his team is able to go in. We see Solstice running through the backline. Neonix is going to take out Bruh. Early pick here. We'll see if they're able to follow up on that, make use of not having a support. Battery Tide takes out Moon. big hook onto TripTQ. Battery Tide follows up on that perfectly, and looks like they've found a good answer to this brawl composition coming out from Plat Agenda.
That is just so much damage coming out. You got the Roadhog with the damage. You got the Echo with the damage. You got the Reaper with the damage. Even Lucio and Anna are nothing to scoff at. And when you're running that kind of, when you're running a shielded composition, it just burns right through it.
Yeah, it's really going to test the positioning of Plat Agenda here, see if they're able to play around the CC from the tanks on RITkum Bokum, which is going to go for a little bit of a flank, try to get early damage onto Moon here, try to pressure him out of his position. Moon going really low, going to have to keep his shield up if he wants to stay in this fight. Still low, hasn't been healed up yet, still getting poked down by the huge amounts of damage coming out from RITkum Bokum. His shield is down, forced Immortality Field out. He gets pulled out of the Immortality Field by Skyphos. Great hook there, and without their main tank, Plat Agenda is just gonna have to back up.
You know, I hope that they can back up and not get picked. This really is a pick composition, and if they just get picked again before the Reinhardt gets back, this could be a pretty easy steamroll right through streets.
Great use of that amplification matrix by TripTQ, giving his Reinhardt time to come back. Actually gets a pick on Jalbun, but Reform Sean actually goes down to that that biotic grenade from the Ana, so not quite out of the woods yet. Skyphos taking a flank, taking B-caps off the damage. He's gonna use Whole Hog to actually just push the entirety of the Plat Agenda back, and with Neonix coming in, copying the Reinhardt, it's gonna be a lot to keep up with. Moon comes in with a big shatter, but is it gonna be enough? Only takes out one, but Reform Sean gets a pick with Death Blossom, and they actually do manage to hold the point.
Yeah, they still got that Echo that they're cleaning up in the back line, but that was actually a really good retake. What is it? 0.80 meters left, and they were able to get on and hold it and contest it, and now they've really got some defenders advantage with that. Spawn is closer to the heart than what.
See Moon going in on Skyphos. Skyphos is a little bit out of position there. You see Plat Agenda, or sorry, RITkum Bokum trying to get the back cap. Goes for a minefield, doesn't really get anything, is able to be cleared off fairly easily by Moon, so not quite going to get what he wants out of that here, but they're still down one of their tanks, so they're going to be forced to back up even though they invested ultimates there. Jalbun, going for a little bit of aggressive play onto ABC there, but no one going down.
Yeah, looking at the ultimate advantage that the Plat Agenda is working with, plus they're working with defenders advantage. Unless they really get picked, then we could definitely see this hold lasting for a while.
And just like you said there, a couple ults comes out of the Plat Agenda, no problem. They still have. They do have 4 incredibly impactful ultimates coming up to almost none on the side of RITkum Bokum.
Yeah, they've got 2 minutes left on this defense. If they play it right and don't use all of the ultimates at the exact same time, this is actually looking like they might be able to defend them.
So you see Neonix coming in on the flank here, is going to try to get some damage, but not really close to that EMP, so you see Moon coming in, doesn't get the shatter, huge anti-grenade coming out from ABC. Reform Sean, though, is going to come in with this Death Blossom again, picks up 4 huge plays, saves his team from that anti-nade too. They were very vulnerable there.
All right, what do we got coming up? We've got a Graviton Surge coming up for Mickey, and we're sitting on the sound barrier from Bruh, and they're opening with that grab.
We see coming with the grab. They answer ABC's answers with the nano boost. Battery Die isn't able to get very much out of that Death Blossom. we see Skyphos really trying to push up, do as much as he can. Doesn't get anything with the shatter. Jelbune takes out Bruh though, so it looks like RITkum Bokum might be able to push up and take this point yet. Jelbune pushing up, trying to get a pick on that Zarya. Zarya, big source of damage here. Looks like they are going to have one more fight. You see Skyphos pushing out Moon here. But you got Neonix, EMPs. That combined with the Coalescence from Jelbune is just going to clean up so much damage coming out from Battery Die and Skyphos there, and no abilities to help them after that EMP.
You know, after that first fight on Streets phase and them looking like they, RITkum Bokum looking like they might just get rolled, it really looks like the Plat agenda was able to hold them off all the way until 24 seconds. That was a win on Streets phase, if you ask me.
So you see Reform Sean just kind of running up mid there with that Death Blossom, but Skyphos taking a little bit too much damage to his shield. Just opens that play up for the Reaper on the other side. So looks like maybe one attack, two if they're lucky from RITkum Bokum.
You know, honestly, I'm looking at Neonix and I'm surprised that they're not playing a little bit more aggressive, trying to play for that EMP charge. It looks like that's really going to be the winning factor, or win condition,
see that?
as it were.
We see the Plat agenda try to turn around to deal with the hack. Skyphos goes in for a shatter while they're distracted, but TriptyQ just manages to save his whole team from that shatter with the Immortality Field. Moon answers with a shatter of his own, almost 50% to another one here, and it's looking like last fight for RITkum Bokum to try to take this point.
Yeah, we see a couple changes. We've got the Diva probably for a little bit more for a little bit more mobility. Maybe something to contest the Baptiste.
We see Solstice eat the Graviton Surge from Ricky, although Moon gets the better of Skyphos here. Jelbune takes out Immortality Field. BCAPS is going to take down Battery Tide with a Flashbang of all things, and it looks like there's not much left for RITkum Bokum. They are going to EMP 5 people, but it is a little too late on that EMP there. Reform Sean going to get one more kill with the Death Blossom. Why not here? Take out Skyphos, but at the end of the day, the Plat agenda is going to be able to hold RITkum Bokum midway through point C.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about that EMP ultimate. It's a really, really good ultimate, but it's way better if you have anything to follow it up on. And all they had to follow it up on was the Coalescence, and that's not one of the greatest things to follow up on an EMP with. Yeah. That was quite the showing from RITkum Bokum, or from the Plat agenda on that push there.
Yeah, we'll see what RITkum Bokum decides to do on defense. They ended up going to that Reinhardt to try to finish off Streets phase and close out the map. Looks like they are going to play a Reinhardt here on the defense. Keep with the Diva, though. And Plat agenda is going to go with a Reinhardt Zarya comp of their own.
They're setting up with a symmetric composition. They're going for that burst damage with the Hanzo, and they're hoping to build up some of that crazy damage that symmetric can output towards the later stages of the fight.
Now you see them positioning on that high ground, so it looks like they're going to try to engage from the back of the Plat agenda somehow. Plat agenda just going to take the point here. RITkum Bokum going to engage from behind. Go in with the charge. Skyphos takes out Reform Sean. That's going to be a huge amount of damage, but not before Reform Sean's able to take out Neonix on that Hanzo. Solstice and Skyphos just cleaning up the rest of the backline. Plat agenda just not ready for that Symmetra teleporter coming out, and weren't able to stabilize from all that damage coming from where their backline was.
Yeah, you know, that's a really interesting play. from a paper perspective, they let the Plat agenda come onto point, basically get that defender's advantage, and then they attacked from the attacker's position. I think it just kind of juked them and caught them off guard, and that's why they won that fight.
See if it'll work again, though. Skyfo's going to come in, going to drop in, deal a lot of damage. Bubbles coming out from Mickey is going to end up blocking his shatter. Skyfos does go down, but again, just a lot of angles that RITkum Bokum is able to attack the Plat agenda from. You see, the front line is actually being teleported behind Plat agenda, and their backline's able to take them out from the other side.
Yeah, this is a really interesting strategy here. We'll see how they try and attack on this, because really have no idea where they're going to get defended from, basically.
So we see Plat agenda is going to try to take them off the high ground first. I like this play. Skyfos going low, but getting pressured down, but Moon is actually going to get taken out there. Solstice taking out Trip Q. Skyfos, big shatter, a lot of ultimates invested in the later there in the fight. I'm not sure if I like that a whole lot by RITkum Bokum, but they still do have a couple ultimates to work with.
Right, I was surprised to see the window come out of the Plat agenda. It seemed to me like the play that they should be working on is build up your ultimates and then take the point once you've run out a little bit of once you've run out the clock a little bit.
So we see BKEF is going to have to come up huge with this EMP. Does catch out Skyfos, who gets shattered. Solstice is going to come in with a bomb, is going to take out Moon and get Trip Q's Immortality Field. Reform Sean is going to take out Neonix, but still looking good for the defense here. Mickey is in trouble, going to get pressured down by both of the tanks of RITkum Bokum, and not much left doing for the Plat agenda. Now looking like they're going into what could be their last attack.
You know, those healers on the part of RITkum Bokum are not being touched. They are completely uncontested, and they have high ground advantage. They're just able to put in so many heals that the Plat agenda just can't deal with.
So is the Plat agenda taking another sort of rotation? Looks like they're going all the way back around. This is one of the longest rotations you can take on King's Row. I do like what they're doing here, but let's see if it'll be enough. They aren't going to go from the top. They're just going to try to take it from the bottom here. They are in a closed location, though. Neonix is going to take out Triple Q's Immortality Field early. We see Mickey get a big Graviton Surge, not come up with much, but Reform Sean is going to get 2 and a mech with that Death Blossom there, and then he's going to take out 2, so more or less 5 piece there from Reform Sean. Big anti-nade from ABC, but the rest of his team was too dead to be able to follow up.
Those Death Blossoms coming out of Reform Sean are carrying this team.
And we see Skyfos tries to go for a really aggressive shatter, but just gets bursted down. We see Reform Sean just taking out the entire backline of RITkum Bokum. See that aggression just get a little bit too carried away, stepped up a little bit too forward. Did Skyfos before his team was ready to back him up on that shatter. Good shatter catches too, but he goes down before his team's able to capitalize. We see Solstice coming up on this bomb. Moon's going to back up after getting hit by the anti-nade from ABC, but still, Plat agenda just pushing forward this cart, looking for a good place to engage. We see Neonix is going to engage with the Dragon Strike. He's going to take out Bruh. BCAP's is going to respond by taking out Jelvian. Ooh, we got kills trade out on both sides. It's a 2v2 right now, but that favors the defenders here on this second point, so Plat agenda is just going to have to back up here.
Yeah, it is looking like a very different game. We've got the Earthshatter already up. Reformed Sean is coming up on that Death Blossom, and that has been a game changer pretty much every time it's been up for the Plat agenda. But we do have a Diva Bomb probably opening up this fight on the part of.
We see a big shatter coming out from Moon. Skyphos, however, is going to respond in kind. That's 4 taken down from RITkum Bokum really quickly. It looked like a clean engage coming out from the Plat agenda, but not quite able to take advantage of those stuns that they got, and got punished for it. Now 30 seconds left. Plat agenda definitely on their last attack.
They've still got that. The Plat agenda still has the Death Blossom on the part of Reformed Sean, but that maybe a beat drop is the only thing that they're going to be getting out of this next fight. But all the other team is sitting on is a nano.
All right, so we see Reformed Sean goes in, gets the whole backline. How does he keep doing it? It's incredible. He's going to take out Jellian and ABC, and that's going to be most of the fight. Mickey was going to drop the Graviton Surge just to ensure that his team wins, takes it out, but we see Reformed Sean again being the difference makers with these, being the difference maker in this game with this Death Blossom.
All right, we are into our third point in our final defense. Any of these fights could be the absolute last fight of the map.
See Skyphos pushing up aggressively, forces out Immortality Field by pressuring Moon. His own Immortality Field is down, and now Plat agenda gonna engage with the beat. We see a Dragon Strike from Neonix, take out 2, 3, take out 3, huge Dragon Strike to counter that beat. Follow up on the pressure from his Reinhardt, and that's gonna be the end of this attack from Plat agenda.
You know, it's not all the time that you see a free Dragon Strike without a Graviton pick up that many kills. Incredibly well placed.
Yeah, it was a good job at splitting the enemy team. Without that, we were gonna see Bruh just walk his whole team in with that beat. But now Moon gonna try to take position here. Gonna try to get Scophos. Scophos gets hit by a pulse bomb. We see Battery Tide is gonna push back the enemy team. Not quite get anything with that Death Blossom, but he is gonna make plenty of space. Neonix is gonna take out Moon for it. Battery is gonna take out, well, the rest of the front line of Plat agenda, and it looks like RITkum Bokum is very advantaged here. Only a few seconds left for Plat agenda to touch, and it looks like they won't be able to.
Victory.
RITkum Bokum win. All
So
right.
what did you think about that Symmetra strategy coming out from? Oh, I guess we're going to see this this Dragon Strike from Neonix most likely here.
Yeah, you know, Symmetra is a really interesting character. She definitely fits into brawl compositions, and we do see a lot of brawl compositions on King's Row. It was some of the most novel uses of teleporter strategies that I've seen in at this level of play, though. It on that first point, I'm not necessarily sure that if they had reacted more quickly, it would have worked out as well for the Symmetra team. But you know, it caught him off guard, and a lot of times at this level of play, that's all you need to do in order to win a team fight.
Yeah, I like that it was clearly really well rehearsed. They set up a crossfire on the point. Their supports were safe the entire time, and their tanks just kind of got to do whatever they wanted to because they were just constantly getting healed by massive amounts of healing coming out from a Baptiste and an Ana. So it was a really interesting strategy, and I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah. It looks like we're moving into Dorado. That is a map that I have seen Symmetra strategies work on before. So it'll be interesting to see what we see coming out on Dorado. There is a little bit more high ground on that map. It's not nearly as streetsy as King's Row is. So a lot of times we'll end up seeing like more like dive tanks and that kind of thing run on that map. So we'll see if we see something different.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strategies that both of these teams can bring out on Dorado. There's a lot of high ground that teams can play around, so we could see some of the dive comps with a wrecking ball, or even maybe a Winston potentially. But there is a lot of potential for a brawl composition too, as long as you're able to engage from the right point. We've even seen pick comps tonight coming out from RITkum Bokum, and there are a lot of off angles that you're able to take on this map. There's just a lot of side streets that you can try to poke people out from. So it's really possible that we see just about anything coming out from both these teams.
Yeah. Absolutely. It sounds like we are taking a real quick intermission for someone needs to grab a beverage, but we'll be jumping right back into it. Yeah. So RITkum Bokum has what's the score so far? I believe the RITkum Bokum won the first map. RITkum Bokum won this one.
It was Plat map, and then RITkum Bokum took down the second map.
Right. So we're at a 1-1 right now. Usually I spend my nights adminning tournaments staring at score sheets. So I don't have that right in front of me right now. Sorry about that, but it's anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of stuff coming out from both of the teams. Some really unique, clearly like well practiced map specific compositions and strategies. So I think that we're pretty likely to continue to see this going on for the rest of the series, which makes it incredibly difficult to predict how these teams are going to play out, because it's unlikely that they played against these sorts of strategies before. Now wood tier.
Yes.
They're taking an intermission for beverages. So I guess I'll ask you, if you were to put your hand open right now, you have a glass and I get to fill it up with one beverage. You get to pick. It can be anything. You don't have to pay for it. It's on me today. What would you choose? What do you go with?
What would I choose? Honestly, if I were to choose anything right now, it would probably be an old fashioned. I absolutely love whiskey, and it is that is what I would choose. What about you?
You know, I was just gonna be boring and say that I'd love my glass of water to be refilled, but now that you mention an old fashioned, that's one of my favorite drinks for just whenever I want to sip and just enjoy whatever I'm doing. It's kind of hard to beat it. But I'm gonna be boring. My mouth is a little bit dry, so I think I just have to go with water right now.
Oh wow. That is.
But I think your answer is definitely a lot more fun than mine is. That's
Well,
not in question.
If the producer could cut in here a little bit, I might offer a third alternative, which would
Sure,
be
please.
a local brewery only a few miles from me, Parish Brewing Company. I would be having a double dry hopped Ghost in the Machine IPA rated world class. It is quite excellent.
Very nice. I live in Southern California, and we have quite the brewery scene out here as well. But we are. It sounds like they're asking for ready checks, and we might get back into some Overwatch in just a moment.
I'm always happy and glad to support those local breweries, though. I got out of college a few years ago, and College Town had good amount of bars around, and the bars there were really into supporting local drinks. So you'd see a big drink wall. Oh, looks like we're getting a restart here. Get a little bit more time to show off our favorite drinks here, but you see a big drink wall. They had some of them had 100, like one of them had 106 different beers and ciders, and like a large amount of them were local. So it's good fun to kind of know what you enjoy. It's a bit of a taste of home, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things that it looks like we've got ready, and we are moving right on into Dorado. I am still waiting on being able to taste some things, though. I did recently come down with the coronavirus, and I am much more on the mend now, but I still literally can taste or smell nothing.
So it
And
sounds like you should be the one with the water, and I should be the one holding up with the old fashioned, right?
that is what it sounds like. Just before I came down with the coronavirus, I picked up a nice new bottle of bourbon, and then I couldn't drink it because it was going to taste too delicious, and I couldn't waste it like that. So I've been spending all of my time drinking water, which is why my answer was hot water.
Something to look forward to then. Speaking of looking forward to things, we're gonna get to see. Hard to say what Rick and Bokum's gonna actually play. Attackers tend to putz around and spawn a little bit, but Plat Agenda, we're gonna get to see what their comp is immediately. We're gonna see something we haven't seen yet today. We see a Sigma Wrecking Ball composition.
Yeah, that Sigma indicates that they're playing for maybe a little bit more of a pokey play style. We also see some Zenyatas on these teams, which is inherently pokey. Blue team, the Plat Agenda, is also running that Sombra again. So we're playing for a little bit more of a scouty and slower composition. Red team is looking to play more of a ranged, but still somehow more of a brawl style.
So we see big bubble actually coming up from Solstice, protecting Neonix from that dive. Tracer and Wrecking Ball doing a ton of damage. BCaps is going to come in, take out Jalbune whenever he gets that Discord order on him. Too much damage to be able to be healed up. So you see Rick and Bokum gonna have to back up a little bit. BCaps again in the backline dealing a lot of damage. Moon's gonna come in, get a lot of poke coming off of that the pile driver, but Skypost is gonna answer. A little bit too far pushed up by the Plat Agenda. Bruh being taken down by a fire strike. Skypost is gonna come in, pin Mickey. Battery die takes out Trippy Q. Skyfo's is just a sniper rifle, or got a sniper scope on his hammer here with these fire strikes. Looks like Reform Sean might be able to touch. Nope, not quite able to get that touch. Is probably going to go down unless he wants to hide out in the back line.
That was a good try, though. I really liked the switch off of Jalbane. He switched off of the Zen when he died to the Sombra, because Sombra is one of those characters that just is, if there's a hard counter to Zen, it's Sombra. And then switched on to the Lucio and got back in the fight faster, and more than that, really decided to support that brawly style with the Ryan Zarya composition.
We see Jalbune actually taking out Reform Sean, trying to get a pulse bomb, but Solstice on point with these bubbles, making sure his team does not get taken out by that Tracer ultimate. So Jalbune's, like you were saying, his Lucio swap looking really good right now. Still, we see the Plat Agenda using their close range damage from the Reinhardt to just be able to force up the comp. Moon is gonna engage with this with a minefield here. Not much going. Neonix is going to take out Reform Sean on the flank. They got a big shatter onto Mickey. Is going to close out this fight for. So he's going to close out this fight rather for Rick and Bokum going this last point. with a time bank
Yeah.
of 5 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, playing with that slower, pokey, Sombra, EMP style, it can work out for you. But at some point, you have to do enough damage that you feel like you can actually go and contest. And that's the problem with the Brawl Comp is Brawl Comp wants you to contest.
We see BCAP's is actually going to use that EMP to good effect, but his team is still trading out kills. It's a 3v3 on the point right now, and it looks like RITkum Bokum is actually advantaged here. Although Defender's spawn is much closer. Reform Sean is going to take out Battery Die on the Echo, and that's going to force RITkum Bokum to back up here.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the third point of Dorado, and this is the first time that the chart has stopped moving. They've already got that. They've already got that regroup. Echo's coming back in. As soon as she's here, we're gonna see them push right back in, and it looks like they're pushing up for that high ground. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, we see them coming up on 5 ultimates here. If they're able to use these ultimates effectively, they're going to speed in for the engagement. We see Bubble come out. We see Solstice going to Graviton Surge. He catches 3 people here. Neonix is going to follow up with the Dragon Strike. Getting 2, Moon is going to go down to Skyphos. And that's only 2 ultimates out of the side of RITkum Bokum. They're going to take a lot of space with this fight win, and they still have 4 more ultimates to take it down here.
The Plat agenda is coming up on a window and a Deadeye. We might see an EMP come out.
We see Skyphos not getting anything off of his Shatter, but he's just trying to make space for Battery to take over on the Reinhardt here. 2 Reinhardts swinging around on the cart. There is not much you can do about that. You can't play Overwatch like this since early 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, RITkum Bokum, 2 Reinhardts on the cart, is going to take down a blazing fast Dorado speed with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the time bank.
Yeah, that was a very decisive push on the part of RITkum Bokum. It'll be interesting to see if the Plat agenda can push just as quickly.
And we see that, really aggressive brawl strategy from RITkum Bokum that didn't quite work for them on Lijiang Tower, but clearly they knew what they were trying to do. They come out with it on Dorado and set just a really fast time. They were able to take initiative away from Plat agenda at several points just by using their incredible front-loaded damage on the Reinhardt combined with that Lucio speed boost to just move them into position, and they just caught Plat agenda off guard, I think, with some of those engagements.
Yeah, we're seeing in the attackers spawn. We've got Mickey on the Sigma again. We've got BCAP still on the Sombra. They're looking at a Zen Brigida heals. But they've got a Junkrat and a Zen on the side on the other side. I'm not sure that shield is going to hold up for very long, and then once that shield's gone, don't know if they are going to be able to sustain through it with those heals.
You see if BCAPs and Reform Sean here are able to actually do any damage in the backline. They are going to pull RITkum Bokum down to the main choke, so good to take them out of position there with those long-range DPS. Moon is going to get trapped, take a bit of damage, but a lot of health, can be able to back up. So we're really looking to Reform Sean to just try to get a kill here with the Tracer. Moon gonna go in with the pile driver, and that's what we're looking for. Reform Sean is gonna pick Battery Die, but not before Skyphos and Neonix are able to get 2. Neonix picks up 3, so it is there is attacker's advantage here because that attacker spawn is so close, but with Moon getting taken out, Plat agenda is just gonna have to back up.
You know, they are staggering here a little bit. There was a little bit of a stagger at the very beginning of on point 1 in the first round. But let's hope that they can build up some momentum, because I think they might already be behind.
So we see Reform Sean and Moon are going to be taking these flank angles, try to deal as much damage as possible. Pulse Bomb doesn't quite get anything, does force back the side of RITkum Bokum. Reform Sean actually going to take out Jalbion, is going to be big, but Neonix comes up huge with 2 picks. BCAP, Moon both going down. Battery Die is going to catch out Reform Sean after he takes some damage with the trap, and then again, Plat Agenda not able to get almost anything off of that push there.
You know, I think if there's going to be a push that is going to win this fight, I think it's going to be this one on the part of the Plat Agenda. They're walking into it with a Transcendence. They should be able to sustain through it. They have the minds to start off the fight, and then as the fight progresses, they're probably going to end up with that Flux and the EMP.
So you see Moon denying a lot of space, really using those mines to just make as much room for his team as possible. We see Shatter doesn't get anything. Trippy Q is gonna we see Transcendent is actually coming up from both teams. Battery Tide is gonna try to do something with this tire, try to take out as many as possible. Does get Moon, and we see the entirety of RITkum Bokum just follow up on that damage and take down Plat Agenda.
Yeah, at this point, the only win condition that they have is the Flux on the part of Mickey, and the EMP that is up on the part of B-Caps. If they can't get it done with those 2 ultimates, I don't think they're gonna get it done. RITkum Bokum is sitting on the Graviton Surge, which they're probably going to lead off with early, because that'll get them their Reinhardt ultimate. Oh, but that's a good EMP to start.
Get a pick on a Battery Tide early. EMP cancels out any of the value coming out from Solstice's Graviton Surge. We see Mickey is going to not get anything with the Gravitic Flux, but is going to do a lot of damage to Solstice. Eventually goes down, and like you said, it was those 2 ults that did so much for the side of Plat Agenda taking that point here.
We are getting Cajun right back in here. Sorry about the lapse in production. The blue team, the Plat Agenda, just took over point 1, and they are moving into Streets phase.
So we see the pushing up. Moon is going to try to pressure out Skyphos here, but Skyphos is just going to take down everyone around him. Reform Sean gets caught out on that off angle. Good dragon by Neonix. Trippy Q is about to get taken out by after being slept here. So Plat Agenda took the first point, but is going to have to reset, try to get the ball rolling again on coming to the Streets phase here.
Yeah,
that's Streets phase. It's Dorado, but second point, as it were.
Yeah, that sleep followed by the stagger is rough. We're down to 1:40 left, and the Plat Agenda has a window, a Dragon Strike, and a Shatter coming up.
See Mickey on the Diva taking away the high ground from the DPS of the Plat Agenda. We see B-Caps trying to force a duel on the side of with Battery Die here. We see Moon going very, very low, not quite getting taken down though, is able to be saved by his supports and is actually able to counter a big shatter from Skyphos and turn around that fight. None of his teammates went down, and they're looking in a great position to be able to close out the second point here.
You know, you don't see a play of the game by Baptiste very often, but these immortality fields coming out of Bruh are incredible.
We see Battery Die take out Bruh early, so no more immortality field this fight. Although Trippy Q, with this Transcendence, is going to keep his team alive, is going to be able to sustain through a lot of the damage that the lack of the Baptiste won't be able to heal. And Skyphos gets a lot of early damage on Moon, but Trippy Q's Transcendence, they're just saving the fight.
Yeah, we are into point 3. The Plat agenda is continuing to push on through, and it looks like the ultimate advantage is not nearly in the favor of RITkum Bokum where it used to be. Don't get me wrong, they've got a lot coming up, but
Oh, we see B caps get 3 with the tire. That's going to be huge. The Plat agenda does not have to put anything else into this fight, and they might actually be able to cap the point before RITkum Bokum's even able to touch. You see Doomfist, Battery Die, is going to have to touch the point here, is going to get blocked off by B caps and not able to get back to the point here.
yeah, that's incredible. Once they got rolling, once they got that first point, they rolled through the second point, and the rest is history.
Initiating match.
That switch onto the Junkrat, while somewhat unexpected, really seems to have paid off for them. I'm not gonna say that the Sombra pick was worse than the pick on the Junkrat, but I think I think the Junkrat actually got a little bit more value, especially in that last fight.
At the end of the day, it is hard to argue with results, right? You see B-Caps getting some really big EMPs, like the one that was able to take first point, but just a little bit more front-loaded damage, a little bit more front-loaded value, not having to worry too much about getting revealed by some of the random spam damage coming out of the side of RITkum Bokum, is able to just get a lot more sustained value. Looks like RITkum Bokum going for a sneaky play here.
You know, a lot of times you'll see that play with a Mei, because you can actually throw up a wall right there and still continue to contest the
Oh, they are found. Form Sean gets a huge sonar arrow, is going to show exactly where RITkum Bokum are, but it doesn't matter. Battery Die is going to get 2 on that Junkrat. A lot of damage coming out, is going to be challenged by Reform Sean here, and Reform Sean does go down. Battery Die picking up 3.
Yeah, that was a really interesting fight between that Hanzo and the Junkrat. Just one headshot and it would have gone the other way, but ends up winning it out. And then the Junkrat's up on the high ground. Who's going to contest him up on the high ground? I think the only one that they have is the Lucio or the Baptiste.
It could be the Junkrat of his own. We see B-Caps actually taking out ABC, and that's going to snowball this fight really quickly. B-Caps taking out his counterpart. He's in the backline here, just dealing a lot of damage. We see RITkum Bokum is taking out a lot of people on cart, but they do lose people. So if Plat agenda is going to be able to, looks like they are going to be able to touch this cart here, and they're just going to be they're going to have to force RITkum Bokum back. But RITkum Bokum wasted a ton of time, and it's overtime before the Plat agenda had basically touched the cart.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a win-win situation for RITkum Bokum. If they play that far up, sure, they give defenders advantage, or give up their defenders advantage, but well, let's go ahead and fight.
Yeah, we see Battery Tide is going to go into the backline to finish charging his tire. He picks up 2, so there's not going to be much left to do. Reform Sean is going to try to take it back by taking out Battery Tide, but nothing going. Team kill going over the way of RITkum Bokum, and the cart is going to be parked just in front of the arch there.
Yeah, when like I was saying before, when all you have to do is play for time, playing really close up is actually a really good call. Sure, if you win a fight, if you lose a fight, it's not that big of a deal, right? Because you should be able to get a good solid regroup and then contest at the last second on point 1. And with 3 minutes and 22 seconds in the bank, that's okay. But we've got a possibly disheartening stage of where you gotta get the cart to at this point, and let's see if RITkum Bokum can just push right on through.
So the difficult task the Plat agenda has here is they're not really allowed to lose a fight at all, but they also can't give up too much position. the cart is in a place to where they are gonna have to take some risks with where they're playing to be able to defend this. And with 3 minutes, Rick and Bokum just has to charge some ults, throw them out, and a lot of the time that'll be good enough here.
Attackers incoming.
Yeah, they really with 3 minutes and 22 seconds and the winning space as close as it is, you really can just play it as slow as you want, build up as many ultimates as you need, because all you have to do is win one fight.
So we see teams just poking at each other right now. Battery Die looking to charge up that tire. Really impactful ultimate here. If he's able to get it off, it can just win full team fights on its own. So Card is going to be pushing up really close. BCAP's actually going to take out Gelbune. Those kinds of picks are going to be really important to keeping Plat agenda in it, as they don't want to take too many risks. BCAP's going to take out Battery Die over there. Battery Die is still up in the ult fight, but Rick and Bokum is going to be forced back after that.
All right, yeah, they're just poking it out. You see the stuff coming out from the Sigma, building up that HP advantage, and then the takes out the Reinhardt.
You see Skyfo's going down, just a huge amount of poke damage coming through that choke. Not much he can do about it once his shield goes down. Mickey's going to take out Solstice, so this is an even fight. Plat agenda a little bit down. Spawn advantage really favoring the side of Rick and Bokum, but after the Reinhardt goes down, play safe. BCAPS picks up 2. Battery Die and ABC both falling to the explosions from the Junkrat. And even though Plat agenda has a long walk back, Moon gets back, and Rick and Bokum is not able to get the leverage on the point that they want.
You know, they are actually defending this very well. With the point as close as it is, it's very easy to lose heart, and we got a pretty impactful ultimate possibly.
Yeah, we see Battery Die takes out BCAP, so that's going to be really big. We see the Gelbune comes out with a Transcendence, so only 3 left on the side of Plat agenda to try to take people out. Reformed Sean just going insane! He gets 3 down, but that's not enough, bruh! Can't take out his own 3, and that's just going to be point and map for Rick and Bokum.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at, well, let's go ahead and watch this play the game.
Beautiful Riptire there. Really ruined the good ult economy, I think, that Rick and Bokum had there, and I think that was the key that got them the point with a little bit less time. It forced them into that last fight, potentially winning scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. If they had any chance of defending that, it was gone as soon as that Riptire came out. Really changes the field when those explosive ultimates come out. Our 4th map is going to be the dreaded Assault 2 CP. It'll be interesting to see where they take it.
So it's unlikely that we're going to see Paris tonight, right?
It is impossible to see Paris. Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony, 2 of the Assault game types or maps, are banned from the tournament. They're not in competitive play, and there's a good reason for it.
Well, I, for one, greatly dislike both of those maps, so that's good news. I always ask, just to make sure, I never want to be caught off guard by those. Looks like we have a swap. Swag is going to come in for Trippy Q here. See if they have a slightly different strategy that they're looking to deploy on the Assault maps here. But yeah, never happy to play Assault, and I never want to find myself in a position where I am playing Assault and someone tells me that Horizon's back in the game.
Yeah. Pretty much every time I'm playing quick play, Paris or Horizon will come up and we just say, nope, we're going to exit out and not play that map. But it sounds like they're going to Anubis. If I like any 2CP map, Anubis is one of them. The other one that I thoroughly enjoy is Volskaya Industries, but this is no slouch.
I think Anubis is a map that's pretty interesting. The first point, more so than the second, in my opinion. There's a lot of high grounds, and the verticality of the map really kind of sets it apart from other 2CP maps. So it does lend to some pretty different strategies. It's almost the Numbani of 2CP, if you were. So a lot of standard stuff you can run here, but a lot of unique stuff as well.
RITkum Bokum has chosen to switch the sides up. Let's just make sure that they that the spectators are where they need to be. But yeah, RITkum Bokum choosing to take on the defense. Yeah, like you say, there is a lot of verticality on this map. Sometimes you'll see pseudo dive compositions on the first point, or full-on dive compositions, but Brawl is kind of the way to go on the second point. So it'll be interesting to see if they just run Brawl all the way through, or if they switch it up halfway through. Yeah. We're getting some ready checks, and it looks like we're going into the map.
Now.
Alrighty, good to go. Temple of Anubis. Again, assault map. Biggest thing we can see on the defense is we're going to be wanting to know what high ground they're going to set up on. There are several high grounds that you can take. Most common is going to be this large platform right in the center of this first point. But there are other strategies that you can employ if you want to do something a little bit more specific.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of times you'll see on the side of the defense, you'll see an Ana sit up on the high ground to the far left, just beyond the mega. I remember back in the day when you used to see full-on defenses with an Arisa bunker up on that back high ground.
We see Skyphos and Solstice are going to be coming out on the Rhine Zarya, so they're looking to do maybe not Brawl per se, considering the rest of their team, but they're not going to be afraid to get up close and personal to try to directly challenge what RITkum Bokum's up to.
5, 4, 3.
Or sorry, what Plat Agenda's up to.
Attackers incoming.
With all the verticality that we see on Anubis, it is not uncommon to see characters like Bar or Echo. There's a lot of that vertical cover. So
you see Battery Die, take out VCaps early. VCaps just gonna have to shake it off. Sometimes you just get hit by that Junkrat spam. No big deal. Don't lose a whole lot. Although Reformed Sean is actually gonna get slept really far range. Totally safe, but quite a shot out from ABC there. Looks like. Oh, we got a charge coming in from Skyphos, going to take out Swaggersaur immediately. Sleep comes out onto the Sombra. VCAP is going to get out of there. A lot of damage trading back and forth, but no one from the side of RITkum Bokum going down on the defense here.
Yeah, we've got the Sombra out of B-caps again. I hope that that they decide to set up and start farming that EMP, because if you're playing with a Sombra, that's the reason to play Sombra.
Yeah, we see B-caps kind of just waiting around in the back line, looking for as much poke as possible, but not really getting much damage in before they're able to, before they're forced out. Reformed Sean doing a lot of damage with the Mercy Pocket, but might be a little too late. Actually forces out the Earth Shatter from Skyphos. Copy actually being kept alive. Mickey is going to be doing tons of damage. Reform Sean gonna take back the point with the help of with a lot of help from his supports.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you pointed it out. The Zarya got some high charge, and then all of a sudden started doing some crazy amounts of damage and just killing people outright.
Objective lost.
Yeah,
It looks like they're opting not to switch off the dive, so this will be interesting to see.
We're going to see them try to use their tank ults here. It's possible that they'll switch afterwards. VCAP's only 50 to that ult. Form Sean looking to start lapping him an ult charge, so going to have to find some way to get this poke in. Although Neonix is just going to be dealing tons of damage to the enemy backline. Is going to put a lot of pressure on Swaggersaur. Actually, probably going to be able to take him out here. Neonix does end up taking him out with that copy. We see Battery Die is going to try to get something with this tire, gets 2. So that's most likely going to be the defense for RITkum Bokum cleaning up what they need to do. Mickey actually getting staggered on the Zarya here. Really dangerous to try to do that stagger.
Yeah, I mean, that stagger really loses you a lot of time. Especially on a Zarya where you die and you go back to 0%.
So we'll see. See RITkum Bokum just playing basic on the point. Battery Die is gonna get Reform Sean. Not quite seeing him there with that concussion mine. Bruh is gonna res him, so we'll see Plat Agenda being able to actually push in here shortly, but Moon getting slept. Gonna take a lot of damage from Battery Die here. Gets healed back up though. We see huge shatter coming out from Skyphos, followed up by a Graviton Surge coming out from Solstice. Skyphos getting 2, Battery Die picking up 2 coming off of those tank ults, and it's gonna look like, although big investment coming out from RITkum Bokum to be sure, that's a 1-team fight.
You know, this is what we see on 2CP. You see it a lot. This defender's advantage is insane. The spawn doors are right there. Looks like RITkum Bokum has the Plat Agenda has 3 ultimates. They've got the Graviton Surge, they've got the EMP. If they're gonna get this fight won, it's gonna be with those 2 ultimates.
You see Reform Sean catching out Battery Die went a little too far. Looks like they're going to stay here, though. I want them to finish this rotation before Battery Die is going to be able to come back. And look, you see Battery Die is going to be able to actually poke at that backline. Neonix is going to take out VCAPs. VCAP's not able to get the Graviton Surge out. Skyphos is going to get Graviton Surge and hit by a Nano Boost, but he's just going to be able to bully out Moon off of this point. Battery Die is going to come in with the Rip Tire, perhaps not necessary. His team already winning the fight, but good to secure those. Secure those fights.
Yeah, that was a really interesting decision to continue on with the Graviton Surge after BCAPs got caught out and killed without being able to use the EMP. It looks like they're probably going to be looking to play for an EMP Shatter at this point.
Yeah, Reform Sean taking out Battery Die again. Battery Die is going to have to watch out for his position, otherwise it could end up costing them. Although Neonix is in the backline, he gets slept though. We see Reform Sean coming in with the Reinhardt, just going to be dealing tons of damage. He is going to get shattered by Skyphos here, but he does get out Neonix. He's just going to come in and clean things up with the Death Blossom though. Reform Sean still doing a lot of damage, but he doesn't do enough damage to take out a 1v4.
All right, so they've got the so Moon on the side of the Plat Agenda has an Earth Shatter. That is the only ultimate they have. They've got their DPS just switched off. The Zarya is sitting at 37%. Along with Defender's advantage,
supports as well.
Yeah, along with the Defender's advantage and all of the ultimates that RITkum Bokum is sitting on, it will be a miracle if they can get this done.
Yeah, huge Graviton Surge from Solstice. Gonna be followed up by ABC, but honestly, getting 5 people in there like that with the positioning that they had to follow up on that Grav, there's not really much that the Plat agenda could do there. They didn't have any ults. They don't really have the abilities to deal with that, especially after they get antied, and it's the last fight. Not much going on for the Plat agenda here.
You know, but the good thing about maybe not necessarily taking the point.
Moon, huge Earthshatter, picks up 2. They're able to take out both of the DPS on the side of RITkum Bokum. Skyphos, although is going to come in and deal a lot of damage here, but we see Reform Sean on the McCree is actually just going to be dealing tons of damage, takes out 3! So Reform Sean and Mickey are going to be on the point. Are they going to be able to avoid this Riptire? 2 hits! Reform Sean takes out the Riptire, takes out Neonix! Is he going to be able to do it? Battery Die comes in! We see Reform Sean using the Deadeye! Is he going to be able to take out the people coming back? He is! ABC isn't able to touch the point!
Absolutely insane. I did not expect it to go that way.
Score.
RITkum Bokum was able to take the point.
Size.
Crazy. I'm
See,
sorry, the Plat agenda.
Plat
Red team.
agenda. We see Reform Sean just pull off miracles time and time again for these guys. We saw it earlier on the Reaper, and there with the McCree, he was just lighting up the kill feed. He was the only name in there, but it doesn't matter if you're the only name in the kill feed. If you show up 6, 7, 8 times even, he was able to two-shot that Riptire that could have ended the push very easily. Important bubble coming out from Mickey, making sure that he was able to take out Battery Die coming back on the Reaper, and you see that Deadeye. Skyphos trying to come back in on the Winston, had to use this bubble to get out, and then was zoned off of the point from the Deadeye, and then ABC wasn't able to touch coming back on the Lucio. It was just an incredible play by both of the remaining players of the Plat agenda.
You know, I said that they needed a miracle, and Reformed Sean was the miracle. Made it happen.
So, that is a point captured by Plat agenda. Not as I was expecting there. RITkum Bokum going to be going in for their attack now.
Attackers incoming.
Yeah.
Defend objective A.
Pretty standard. That's what we've seen out of both of these.
See, Plat agenda just holding the high ground. RITkum Bokum going to try to take it down main.
Pushing straight through.
Again, going with a really aggressive sort of brawl comp. Skyphos dealing a lot of damage to Moon. Actually gonna take Moon out with the help of Neonix. Skyphos gonna go down to B-caps, but Battery Die gonna take out Mickey, so no tank line right now up for the Plat agenda. Jelvian's gonna take out B-caps, and looks like RITkum Bokum highly advantaged here. Again, we're gonna have to see Reform Sean deal out some miracles here to be able to take it. He does get a pick on Jelvian, so he stuns Battery Die, but Battery Die is gonna take out Reform Sean. No more miracles today, he says. You're not going to 1v4 us, even though we've seen that you can. So 6 minutes for the attack. RITkum Bokum looking to take the point here.
A dominant entrance there. 6 minutes is a long time to defend.
See, Neonix is going to get stunned by Bruh. No one-shot kill combo. Battery Die is going to come in, though, dealing a lot of damage early. B-Cap's going to take out Neonix. Skyphos is dealing a lot of damage early with that nano boost, and just huge point presence coming out of RITkum Bokum, and it looks like they might be able to gain several minutes here on an attack. Moon gonna come back on the Wrecking Ball, takes a lot of damage. Reform Sean takes out Jelvian for being up too far, and looks like RITkum Bokum may have overstayed their welcome. Neonix is gonna take out Reform Sean though, so they still have enough members on the point to take this. Skyphos, importantly, still there, swinging away with his hammer. Wow, a 5-minute, 11-second time bank on Assault for RITkum Bokum.
Score.
That must be
2-2.
a massive morale. You defend the entire time.
Initiating.
You defend the entire... Or, I'm sorry. It takes you the entirety of the time to take the second point on Anubis. You get it at the last second by the skin of your teeth, by the miracle that is Reformed Sean, you come in to defend, and they just push right. If they stay in this, it is going to be because they are able to maintain their mental game. It is possible to defend for 5 minutes on a 2CP map. I've seen it a million times. Let's see if they can get it done.
Yeah, monumental task coming up with Plat agenda. But they have some strong plays. They have the ability to do it. So we're gonna see if they're actually going to be able to pull off a 5-minute, 11-second defend. They have to not lose even a single tick on this point. And looks like RITkum Bokum going to come out with a Zarya Roadhog strat. Pick comp, kind of high risk, high reward. If he's able to get a pick early, that could be the entire map and thusly the match. Reform Sean, although, going to take out Solstice in rotation. Finds a lot of good damage on the Zarya early. No shield. Skyfos on that Roadhog again. Jelbian is going to push back Moon. Skyfos again using what he can to do stuff. Reform Sean is just taking stuff into the backline though. Although he is going to get turned on. Skyfos dealing a lot of damage. So 4 people on the point for the side of the Plat agenda, and respawn's coming in faster. Although BCaps is going to get hooked, gets saved. Huge bubble by Mickey.
Really is a huge bubble. It looks like RITkum Bokum has gotten their regroup, but so has the Plat agenda.
See Solstice push up onto the high ground here. Is going to force BCaps off to not do significant amounts of damage. BCaps going to come back up here once that defense matrix is over, and Solstice is going to be out of mech. Reform Sean deals a lot of damage. Neonix, however, picks off Bruh. So one of the supports from Plat agenda down, although RITkum Bokum looks to be retreating here. Looks to be just taking what they can and trying not to lose anyone. Huge pick on Reform Sean. Skyfos takes that aggression, turns it on him, gets a hook, and now it looks like RITkum Bokum could be in the driver's seat here.
You know, it's really going to be on Moon to make sure that as RITkum Bokum pushes in, that someone doesn't just get hooked and lose them the map.
So we see big ult coming out from Mickey. Nano Boost coming out on a whole hog. Roadhog is going to do so much damage, push him off the point. We see Reform Sean is able to get a pulse bomb off, but he is the only one here, and he's going to be taken out by Neonix, and that is going to be map and match for RITkum Bokum.
That was quite the swing. Temple of Anubis, ladies and gentlemen.
See what Skyfos has for us here. The defense that they lost actually gets play of the game on it. So really showing what Reform Sean was able to do with that turnaround. He took something that was play of the game for the other team and made it their point, but not enough to secure the map.
Yeah. On map 1, Lijiang Tower, we had the Plat agenda take the first map, and then the reverse sweep by on Kings Row, Dorado, and Anubis. RITkum Bokum takes it and wins the match. By no means is this determinant of how things are going to go for the rest of the season. We have many, many weeks of play ahead of us. This is just round 1. So the Plat agenda, you've got time to come back and really keep fighting to still be the champions of the Wood Tier Invitational and the Oak Tier. But round 1, match 1, RITkum Bokum takes it.
And I mean, certainly Plat agenda had some great plays. Reform Sean really standing out, making some great individual plays, but you notice that as a team, they had a play style that was a little bit less risky than RITkum Bokum. They were staying together they had good fundamentals. So it's something where they weren't quite ready for some of the prepared strategies from RITkum Bokum, but a great performance, I think, coming out from both teams. You see the well-rehearsed strategies from RITkum Bokum ending up taking out the refined mechanics and team play of Plat Agenda. But I think if you see this matchup again, whether we go back 2 hours and we gave it another go, or or we see it potentially even later on down the line in playoffs. I wouldn't expect it to go the same way at all. I think we could be looking at a different match where, again, it's just anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we do is we keep track of replay codes, and teams are going to have the opportunity to go through and study their opponents and their opponents' previous games. So it's very possible that these very well thought out and clearly rehearsed plays, which are a couple of which were a little cheeky and maybe a little bit more on the cheesy side, people might have an idea that it's coming in the future. So well done, RITkum Bokum, for getting the job done today, but don't rest on your laurels. Tomorrow we have another match coming up. We have not announced who the feature will be, but we are going to be doing everything in our power to get another match stream for you tomorrow night. So thank you for tuning in and listening to us talk about Overwatch and seeing these fantastic teams play. Oblivion, I thoroughly enjoyed casting with you, and hope that my color casting will do nothing but get better in the future.
Same to you. Hoping that I'm able to keep serenading people by yelling various DPS names over and over into the mic. A lot of fun. I think we learned a lot about Overwatch, about these teams, about the tournament, and I don't know if you're as excited as I am, but I just want to see more games, because these are just some fun, good games of Overwatch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do play on Fireteam Phoenix, correct?
I actually do not.
Oh, I'm sorry. You play on Fireteam Slipstream.
I do not.
Whoa. What team in the Limit Break server do you play on?
I am a coach.
Wow. What coach? What team do you coach for?
So I coach currently for Watchpoint Gibraltar and for Fireteam Cobalt.
Oh, very cool. Well, we'll be seeing Fireteam Cobalt here in some coming matches, as well as Watchpoint Gibraltar. Both of those teams are in our oak tier, and I'm sure it will be an interesting day when those two teams get paired up against each other.
It's been described as an anime battle, where you train your two kids until they're old enough to fight each other, and one of them has to take down the other to earn the respect of their parents. So a lot riding on that one, but I think we have so many matches to look forward to, from being able to watch both of the teams scrim, especially scrim against other teams, and the games that they've had so far. We're just looking at a lot of close matches, a lot of fun matches, and even though the teams are have the same coaching staff available to them, both of them are taking different directions, and they're both playing very different styles than even the teams today. So I really like seeing that level of individualism, and I think it's almost a symptom of this meta in a way that teams are able to kind of play what they like, play what they're good at, and develop their own strategies. And I think that's just a really great thing about this league.
It's always a good time when you're not pigeonholed into just playing goats.
Whoa, let's not get too crazy now.
Hey man, I'm a main tank player. I loved playing goats, but it's nice that there are other options.
I'm not saying that the adrenaline rush from eating several graviton surges in a row is the best feeling in the world, but I can't tell you that it's not the best feeling in the world coming from a diva main. So
yeah, but it looks like it's round 4 that we're going to see Watchpoint Gibraltar host Fire Team Cobalt. So maybe we will, and that match is currently in the schedule for January 30th. If they decide to play that match on time, maybe we can get you in here and see what Dad has to say about the two sons.
sounds like it could be a good show. I know players on both teams kind of know each other, so they have some personal vendettas to solve in game, as well as trying to take down the other teams. So that one could be pretty wild. That's for certain.
Right on. Cajun, I thoroughly appreciate you doing all the production for this match tonight. I'm sure it turned out fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and viewing this first round of the Oak division of the Wood Tier Invitational. We will catch you in a later round. Oblivion Divider, thank you for being here. Cajun Wise Guy, thank you for being here. I have been the Wood Tier Guru for the Wood Tier Invitational.
And I have been Oblivion DVDR.